Hello everyone and welcome back to where I play Dragon Slayer: The Legend of Heroes. So here's my last spell list, just in case any of you missed it while I was doing all the other game stuff. I got Warp 1 previously, just in case I needed to bug out of the final dungeon, but that doesn't seem like it'll be necessary. I did gain a level though, just as a safety precaution against the final boss. And let's be sure. Yeah, this is the last room in the game.
At last we meet. I never dreamed I would see the day when I'd be confronted by humans. Know you that I be as old as time itself? That you're not the first civilization to be crushed by my hands? I thought not. It was an error on my part not to have totally annihilated mankind when I had the chance. I shall not make the same mistake again. Once I eliminate you and obtain the Jewels of Doom, civilization as you know it will no longer exist.
But why destroy us?
Because you are what you are.
And what do you mean by that?
It's best that you do not know. That way, you'll rest easier in your graves.
Okay, this is the final boss, Naja the Indestructible, and he is a jerk. He has twice as many hit points as his double, is immune to pretty much everything except the Sword Blaze. Also, he is resistant to slow, has Coma 4, and if you try to slow him, he counter haste, speeding him up quite a lot. Meaning that I just made the boss quite a bit harder on myself. Oh yeah, and if you do attack him normally, he'll probably just regenerate using Waste 5. But if you use Calm on him before you've debuffed his defenses, there's no way you'll be able to deal enough damage to him before he burns down your entire party with Fire Breath. So you need to survive long enough to get him the necessary debuffs, and then cast Calm and hope for the best, and hope that your healing can keep up long enough for you to destroy him. He is just so much nastier than any other boss in the game, it's wonderful. Oh yeah, and he'll just sometimes cancel your melee attacks. Even if you do hit him right, but down he goes.
Mankind has always been the poison. For it is man that destroys nature as he multiplies in number. I, on the other hand, am the antidote. It was nature that created me to maintain her delicate balance. When I first brought civilization to its knees, I felt an overwhelming sorrow for what I'd done. In my anguish, I cast the Jewels of Doom to the far corners of Isanaza so that I would never repeat the deed again. But when I saw mankind once again becoming a threat to nature, I decided it was time to put an end to everything once and for all. However, it would seem that a power much greater than mine has decided that mankind must live. I can only bow to that decision.
What's eating you, Your Highness?
Did we really do the right thing? I can't shake the feeling that nausea was nature's last defense against man. By defeating nausea, we may have sealed the fate of nature.
Ah, but you mustn't forget that Naja yielded to what he claimed was a higher decision. If that is the case, then I think it is safe to assume that the powers that be have left it in our hands to maintain nature's balance.
Maybe this time, nature used Naja to warn us.
Yeah, now all we gotta do is live and let live.
I hate to admit it, but I think our streetwise friend has singled out an ideal solution.
Live and let live. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Hey, you're making me blush.
So that's it for Dragon Slayer: The Legend of Heroes. Well, I won't exactly call this a great game. I think it borrows just a little too much from Dragon Warrior, such as offensive magic's usefulness being generally limited most of the time. But I think the game was bonkers enough to be worth a playthrough, and I think I'll be giving it another go-through at my own pace sometime later. It has the weird property of sometimes making too much sense because it's your stereotypical medieval fantasy JRPG world, but sometimes they lean a bit on the medieval side, like actually having Logan have an arranged marriage, which makes perfect sense. There's Marcus, nobody invited him, certainly. But yeah, unlike a lot of others 80s RPGs, it has a very strong pace to it. Because from start to finish, this was only about 12 hours, and that's only because I didn't know what I was doing. So it's an okay short-form RPG. It doesn't demand a huge amount from the player, except perhaps for the final dungeon and final bosses. And none of these voice actors are anyone I have heard of, so I can't taunt Steven Blum over this game. More's the pity. Of course, I am kinda wondering whether the Seeker is actually a thing, because it sounds like Naja stopped himself from destroying all of humanity the first time around. However, there's no real way for me to play the second game right now, so maybe more is revealed there, I don't know. The second game is actually a sequel to this one. Marcus, get off there. Logan and Micah live happily ever after. And then astronauts show up. No, seriously, that's how Legend of Heroes 2 begins. So, I'm calling it quits for this game, and after this I'm actually going to be taking a real break, after which I will be starting, for once, a game that people have actually heard of. Final Fantasy II for the Super Nintendo, or as some people call it, Final Fantasy IV. Yes, I'm doing the US version. Thank you for watching Dragon Slayer The Legend of Heroes, and I will be seeing you next time. Goodbye!